Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gone Legends. In today's video, we remember two beloved figures who left us recently. Artists, actors, and creators whose lives changed entertainment forever. Before we begin, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Now, let's celebrate their remarkable stories.
He was born Paul Daniel Frehley on April 27, 1951, in the Bronx, New York. A kid from a working-class family who didn't fit into school or sports, but found his world in sound. At 13, his parents gave him a guitar, and that gift lit the fuse of destiny. No lessons. No mentors. Just passion, noise, and rebellion. By the early 70s, he was sneaking into New York clubs, chasing a dream that seemed impossible. Then came fate, an audition for a new band called KISS. Ace showed up late, wearing mismatched sneakers, plugged in his guitar, and history began. With his electrifying solos, wild stage presence, and cosmic persona, the Spaceman was born. KISS became more than a band. It became a phenomenon. Songs like Shock Me, Detroit Rock City, and Love Gun turned rock into a religion. And when Ace's guitar shot sparks into the air, fans believed they were watching something otherworldly. But fame has a cost. Behind the face paint and fireworks, Ace battled addiction, exhaustion, and creative frustration. By 1982, he left KISS, lost and broken. But legends never stay down. He sobered up, formed Frehley's Comet, and found new fire in his music. When KISS reunited in 1996, Ace returned, older, wiser, but still electric. In the years that followed, he lived life his way, creating, touring, laughing, and healing. He once said, "I'm not from Earth. I'm just visiting." On October 16, 2025, Ace Frehley passed away at 74 after an incident at his home in Morristown, New Jersey. The world mourned, the stars felt quieter. Paul Stanley wrote, "Ace was the spark that made KISS explode." And Gene Simmons called him a brother from another planet. Because Ace Frehley wasn't just a guitarist, he was freedom, rebellion, and rock itself. Now, somewhere among the stars, the Spaceman still plays, eternal, electric, and free. In the quiet mountain villages of Austria, where winters were long and dreams were small, a boy was born who would one day conquer the world. That boy was Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger, born on July 30, 1947, in Thal, a tiny village near Graz. He was not born into wealth, or fame, or privilege. He was born into post-war poverty, a world still healing, a time when ambition was a luxury. But inside young Arnold was a spark, a belief that he was meant for something more. Arnold's father, Gustav, was a strict police officer. His mother, Aurelia, a loving homemaker. His childhood was disciplined, even harsh. His father wanted him to follow a simple path, work hard, obey authority, and never dream too big. But Arnold's imagination could not be contained by the small-town life that surrounded him. As a boy, he would pin pictures of muscular men on his bedroom wall. Heroes like Reg Park, Steve Reeves, and bodybuilding icons of the 1950s. He would stare at them for hours, whispering to himself, "One day, that will be me." He began lifting weights in a small gym, often made from scrap metal and bricks. He didn't just train his body, he trained his mind, visualizing his success every single day. While others went to parties or slept in, Arnold worked, sweating, pushing, and dreaming. He once said, "The worst thing I could be is the same as everybody else." I wanted to be different. And different he became. By the age of 18, Arnold had already set his sights on America, the land of opportunity, the home of bodybuilding glory. In 1968, with barely a few dollars in his pocket and limited English, he boarded a plane to Los Angeles. He didn't have connections. He didn't have wealth. But he had an unshakable belief in himself. He trained at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, often for hours on end. His determination caught the attention of the bodybuilding community, and soon he became a force to be reckoned with. At just 20 years old, he won Mr. Universe, becoming the youngest person ever to do so. He would go on to win Mr. Olympia, not once, not twice, but 7 times. Arnold's physique was unmatched, but it wasn't just his muscles that made him different. It was his charisma, his discipline, and his vision. He knew that bodybuilding was only the beginning. He saw it as a doorway, not the destination. And that door was about to open into Hollywood. When Arnold first told people he wanted to be a movie star, they laughed. He had a thick accent, an impossible name, and a body that didn't fit the mold of Hollywood's leading men. Casting directors told him, "Arnold, you'll never make it in movies. Your accent is too strong. You're too big. Your name is too long." But he didn't listen. He knew rejection was temporary, but giving up was forever. He started small, with minor roles in Hercules in New York and Stay Hungry. But in 1982, everything changed. Arnold starred in Conan the Barbarian, a film that turned his size, his strength, and his presence into a cinematic weapon. Then came The Terminator in 1984, a role that would define him forever. With just a few lines of dialogue and one legendary phrase, "I'll be back," Arnold became an icon. Predator, Commando, Total Recall, True Lies. He didn't just act in these films, he dominated them. He became the symbol of power, resilience, and determination. The immigrant kid from Austria had become the biggest action star on the planet. But what made Arnold truly great wasn't the fame, it was the mindset. Behind the massive frame and tough persona was a man of discipline and philosophy. He studied business, real estate, and marketing, turning his bodybuilding success into a fortune. By the time he became a superstar, Arnold was already a millionaire, from smart investments, not just acting. He had mastered not only his body but his mind. Arnold often said, "The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision that you can do something, you can do it." Those weren't just words. They were his way of life. He pushed boundaries again and again, proving that success is not luck, it's persistence. For most actors, the story would end there. Fame, fortune, success. But Arnold wanted to give back to the country that gave him everything. In 2003, he shocked the world when he ran for governor of California, as a Republican in a liberal state. Many dismissed him as a celebrity stunt, but Arnold proved them wrong once again. He won by a landslide, serving 2 terms from 2003 to 2011. As governor, he focused on environmental issues, education reform, and public health. He brought the same discipline from bodybuilding and acting into politics, working tirelessly, refusing to quit even when criticized. He wasn't perfect, and he faced challenges and controversies, but one thing remained constant: Arnold Schwarzenegger never stopped moving forward. Behind all the success, Arnold's life wasn't without pain. His marriage to Maria Shriver, niece of President John F. Kennedy, was one of Hollywood's most admired unions. Together, they had 4 children and built a family rooted in love and tradition. But in 2011, a shocking revelation changed everything. Arnold admitted to fathering a child years earlier with a household staff member. The news devastated his family and the public. It was a fall from grace, a painful chapter in a story that had seemed unstoppable. For a time, Arnold disappeared from the spotlight, retreating from public life to reflect and rebuild. But true to his character, he didn't run from his mistakes, he faced them. He took responsibility, made amends, and focused on repairing his relationships, especially with his children. Through time, honesty, and humility, Arnold found a path to redemption. Today, Arnold Schwarzenegger is more than a movie star or a politician, he's a symbol of possibility. At over 75 years old, he continues to inspire millions worldwide. He still trains every morning. He still speaks about discipline, hard work, and purpose. He uses his platform to fight for climate action, animal rights, and fitness awareness. And he reminds everyone that success means nothing without service. He once said, "Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths." And looking at his life, every challenge, every triumph, we see the truth in those words. Arnold's story is the ultimate immigrant dream. A boy from Austria who built his own destiny, one rep, one movie, one decision at a time. He didn't wait for opportunities. He created them. He didn't wish for success. He worked for it. And he never let the world define his limits. Arnold Schwarzenegger's life is a testament to the power of belief. Belief in yourself, belief in your vision, and belief that no obstacle is too great. He proved that greatness isn't about where you start, but how far you're willing to go. That discipline is stronger than doubt. And that courage is louder than fear. He came from nothing and built everything. He conquered bodybuilding. He conquered Hollywood. He led one of the world's largest economies. And through it all, he never lost the fire of that young boy from Austria who believed he could be something more. Today, when people hear the name Arnold Schwarzenegger, they don't just think of muscles or movies. They think of ambition, resilience, and the will to rise. Arnold once said, "If my life teaches you anything, let it be this: you can have excuses, or you can have results. But you can't have both." And that is the legend of Arnold Schwarzenegger, a man who refused to be ordinary, a man who became extraordinary.